Section 2: Cloud Security Concerns. Today's world, the term cloud is mentioned more and more as it is the way of the future, the solution of everything. I remember the quote from Mr. John Hagel, who is the chairman of the Deployed Centers for the Edge, deployed Silicon Valley by research centers. He said that cloud computing has the potential to generate a series of disruptions that will ripple out the tech industry, ultimately transform many industries around the world. Yeah, we all very much know what cloud computing can benefit us from deploying and utilizing it. The diagram here is the research done by IDC Exchange. It shows that the cloud computing cut down IT expenses to the minimum by paying for what the organization uses only, less in-house IT staff, and so on. However, everything has two sides. If cloud has advantages, it will also have disadvantages or weaknesses because nothing is perfect. Yes, as I said, belong to the advantages which cloud offer for our modern life. It also has some issues that people should understand and concern about. These issues are known as security issues, the difficulty of system integration or customization. As the main purpose of this presentation, which it was designed for, the security in cloud computing, I will mainly focus in security issues. So, what should we be concerned about? Well, data security, the availability and reliability of clouds, and legal issues such as legislation and compliance are critical concern areas in cloud computing. An organization should always ask to themselves and their cloud service providers about this concern area. So what I mean by data security is data type. What type of data can or can't an organization store in cloud? What type of cloud do they need to deploy in order to store the data? There's the different data classification, such as unclassified, confidential, protected, secret, and top secret. Data is adjusted into different catalogs based on its values of what it means to the organization. I will summarize those 5 types of data classification as below. Unclassified data is the public information. Protected data is the information that could potentially damage to the members of an organization. An example would be employees' information, like address, date of birth, and so on. Confidential. This is the information that could damage to the organization. An example of this type of information is new production plans. Secret is the information that can damage to the organization and is a lie. Top secret. This information is critical. It has the potential of stopping the organization or its allies from operation. The information of the example for this information would be financial information. Data type is really important due to its high value. Different cloud deployments can be used for different for different data types. For example, public cloud would be suitable for the nature of unclassified data because it doesn't require a high level of security to protect it. Next concern is about the data security. Next concern about data security is monitoring and controlling. As most of us already knew that monitoring and controlling applies the critical roles in terms of security. The security will be enhanced if there is a good monitoring and controlling processes put in place. Therefore, it's important to raise some questions. First question would be whose responsibility for monitoring and controlling the security system? Will it be the organization or the cloud service provider? Some other important questions which we should ask ourselves are who are looking at our data? Are they authorized to do that? Are they looking what are they looking at? Will they look at our data content? How are they going to monitor and controlling the security system? What system do they have in place? Etc. The question we listed above should be answered clearly. Next concern is the accessibility. One of the brightness of cloud computing is its mobility. This ability allows people to access the cloud from everywhere for their convenience. Unfortunately, convenience and security is not something that can go together in the same direction. The more convenient people have, the greater security issue it is. The effective way to understand and realize the potential security breach is answering the typical 5Ws1H quiz. I will give you an example of what I mean. Firstly, who's accessing our data in cloud? Maybe all people who have access to the organization clouds are the employees of that organization only. What about competitor organization? They could have potential access to our cloud as well. In security, we should always assume that security is compromised. What data are they trying to access? Why would they access that data? How are they accessing the cloud? Are they using the trust device, which has antivirus protection, or just some random public computer to access the cloud? Where are they located? You wouldn't want someone in a random location or at the other side of the world to access your data where your organization has nothing to do with that content. The time when the data is accessed is important. Accessing critical data often works hours midnight, for example, would be a suspicious event which need to be investigated on. Please note that you need to consider about both physical security and logical security when you try to answer the 5W1H quiz. After the data security is available, after data security is the availability and reliability. The first issue of the performance of your cloud. Will it be able to handle your organization application, which require a high speed of bandwidth in order to operate? You need to take this in, into account carefully, because if you make mistake in estimating the bandwidth consumption of the application, a very high cost would be a result of running that critical application in the cloud. Will your cloud have enough resources to serve your organization? How would you ensure that resources are allocated specifically for you only, because the cloud is a shared environment? All the cloud consumers could share the same physical resources, could chew up your resources, could refer as your cloud abuse issue. The DDoS attack is another concern. What if there is an outage problem? Will the organization be willing to deal with the losses when their servers are down? You will not want to see any of the example above to be appear on your web page. Let's just hope the cloud will never go down for your business, because if the cloud go down, you could potentially go down with it due to the losses during the downtime. Can we somehow manage this, or what application can we do to control this threat? The question will be answered in section 3 of this presentation, when we come back to the possible solution for cloud computing. Legal issues. No matter what your business is all about, your business must comply to the standard in order to operate. But there is hundreds of standards out there. What standards are important for your organization? Does your organization need to comply with all the standards, range from the industry standards such as SOX, SOX, COVID, PCI, DSS, HIPAA, etc. The internal standards, the national standard to the international standard? If not, then what are the standards you must comply with at least? Legal issue is a huge challenge for many organizations, because your business can be forced to shut down immediately if you breach the law. Well, I hope by now you have some idea about what are the concerns in cloud computing, as well as we have come to the end of section 2, the cloud security concerns. We are going to move on to the last section in this presentation, where the possible solution for cloud will be named.